Hello, welcome to another Epic 7 video. This time I just want to really talk about the changes they're doing on the developer notes that they gave us on the 20th to basically just discuss what changes in, I just really want to talk about what might be good, what might be bad, and see what changes are good right now for us. I'm actually really more going to talk about Corvus and Cartuja, if anything, as you can see them on the screen right now. The four that I'm more focused on. These are the four that I'm more focused on about the changes. I mean, the rest are good too. Like, were good changes except for like maybe one or two, but we'll be getting to that later. But these four are basically the ones that I want to talk about because, well, one, I have them, and I've actually been trying to work on Secret anyways because I just got her like a couple of days ago. So I've been wanting her for a really long time. I don't really care that she's bad, but we'll be talking about them as I go down the list. So for now, Corvus is going to be the first one I want to talk about, and I have the list right here of all the changes in the background right here. And we'll start with the Judge Keys one. The Judge Keys one, I mean, I don't really have these characters, so I can't really talk about them. All I know is that they're changing. I think they're just trying to change her, how much percentage she has a chance of getting her cooldown reduction thing going on, her reset. So that's pretty good. They're increasing the damage. That's pretty good too. So all in all, there some good buffs for her. Nothing really extraordinary. So she was okay already, but they made her better because she was underperforming. So that's okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure you Judge Keys owners are pretty happy about that. The Make Chloe buff was a pretty good one though, if I remember correctly. The Make Chloe VIP treatment restores health to a certain percentage for allies who died in battle, proportional to max health of the target. Okay, so she heals them when she revives them now, so that's pretty crazy. And she also increases their attack. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you Make Chloe people are pretty happy about that too. Something that got me though was the Violet buff. The Violet buff was hilarious because I did not expect this. I honestly expected Violet to just get the whole Molagora issue he has where he gets a -1 turn cooldown on his what is it, his S2, his apple. But they actually buffed his evasion to 35%. And just to make things even more, sweeter, and they let him remove 2 of his own debuffs, which I'm guessing they're trying to make it so Violet can come in on Dizzy, because Dizzy's just destroying the meta right now. You already know, everybody who has Dizzy, destroying the meta. She's in every team. So that's pretty crazy, I guess with Violet, it really does mean an apple away keeps the Dizzy away this time, not the doctor. But you get what I mean. Ha. Okay, that was pretty bad, but anyways, the Violet buff, crazy. I'm actually going to have to get my Violet up. I was already planning to eventually. It's just he wasn't priority because I don't really need him right now, but I might just do it anyways now. For you Bloodblade Karen holders, because I don't have her, pretty sure you're happy with the damage increase, the cooldown reduction on her thing. They increased her healing as well. She's going to be crazy, as she was already pretty crazy. She was already pretty, used. I saw her a lot, so this is crazy, but pretty sure you Bloodblade Karen people out there are pretty happy with that. Now we go on to the one that people are very upset about because we're not sure how this is gonna work. Assassin Kali supposedly was a buff, but now she will get the silence on all enemies if she stuns the target with her S3 instead of applying the debuff silence after an enemy is defeated. People are saying that they removed it, which I'm pretty sure they did, because it says instead of applying the debuff silence after an enemy is defeated. That means, since it says instead of and it doesn't just add to it, that must mean they're removing that part. So pretty much she has to land the stun to silence everyone. That's a nerf from what I've been told. I mean, I don't use Assassin Kali. I have her, but I'm, it takes a while to to get all these people geared. But it is a nerf because of how there's immunity sets first of all, and effect resistance is a thing on in high, in high PvP. I'm in, low PvP, so I don't really know much about it. But I just, I do watch people, so I know that's a big thing. So that's actually a nerf. I don't know. I hope they change that to be either stun or when defeated, because then that's a buff. Smilegate, you need to do that because this is a nerf. Smilegate, you need look into that. Now let's go back. Now let's go to the one that I really wanted to talk about, because this change is huge for him, for Corvus, because he can actually be a good PvP unit depending on how you decide to use him. So I kind of want to talk about him a little bit. Basically, they changed them a bit. Let's see. Let's go over that real quick. See, Corvus proposed changes below. Shield Slab acquired 10 Fighting Spirit. Macerate acquired 10 Fighting Spirit. Fury's Advent cooldown removed. That one was the thing that got me, was that they removed this cooldown. The Soulburn change, we'll get to that later. That's pretty good too. That's pretty cool. But the cooldown of Corvus' skill Fury has been removed, and players may use the skill as long as they have obtained the required amount of Fighting Spirit. These rules now allow Corvus to receive Fighting Spirit from both skills 1 and 2, which allow him to use his third skill Fury that more frequently than before. So if we go back to our boy here, our old man looking at Sigrid, like, yeah, okay, alright, you need to stop looking at Sigrid, buddy. But if we go back to him, I haven't awakened him. I'm actually planning to, but straighten the casters, right? Consume 50 Fighting Spirit, acquire 2 souls, whatever, blah 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 blah. Right now it's at 6 turns, all that good stuff, right? Strengthens the caster with Fighting Spirit for 3 turns, recovering health and increasing defense for 3 turns. Grants extra turn. Shield Slam increases damage dealt, stunning the enemy target for 1 turn. Master Rate decreases the enemy's combat radius twice when attack requires 10 Fighting Spirit. And he acquires 10 Fighting Spirit from it. So that's what that does right now. That's already pretty good. He gets his increased defense, he becomes bulky, he gets health, he recovers health. Excuse me for the ambulance, It's always super noisy here. Okay, so now that we got that out of the way, let's go to his other skills. Attacks all enemies with an Iron Mace, increasing combat radius by 20%. When an enemy combat radius is done, damage dealt increases proportional. Wait, so he does. Oh yeah, when attack acquires 10 Fighting Spirit. Yeah, okay. That's the other thing that I was gonna mention later after I was done looking at this. So now his 2 skills give him Fighting Spirit whenever he uses them, right? I don't know if he starts with Fighting Spirit actually. If he doesn't, this kind of changes a little bit of what I was thinking, but they kind of should have given him that, like him being able. He should have started with 50 Fighting Spirit. Hopefully they give him that, because that would make him a little bit better on top of what he's already getting. But basically, what I was thinking was, since he's gonna be able to use his Fury's Advent whenever he wants now, well, whenever he gets his Fighting Spirit, what I was thinking was they could, in PvP, you can, since water units are so everywhere, like there's Dizzy, Luna, Diane, all these characters, all these water units in the meta right now. If Corvus is your only fire unit, they're all going to go for Corvus, which means he's going to be stacking Fighting Spirit pretty easily, letting you use your ultimate much more frequently. And this would mean that you would have to have Corvus as your only fire unit, but that's not really a big problem, seeing as there's a lot of other units you can be using for PvP. I'm gonna try and see what I want to use him with, but he will be pretty nice as an only fire unit, baiting all those water units, especially since you want to build him defensively and bulky. So because his damage scales off defense, so you want him to make him bulky, heavy on the bulk, heavy on the health, and probably you want some effectiveness as well. You want to give him some effectiveness so he can stun, he can lower combat readiness, all that good stuff. So he's kind of looking good with his buffs, but if they can give him a starting 50%, kind of like what they did with Ken, because Ken gets that. If I remember correctly, Let me look at Ken real quick. Where's my boy Ken? If I remember correctly, this guy, caster begins the first battle with 15 fighting spirit. Give that to Corvus. Corvus deserves that. You gave it to Ken, but he's super useful in like everything. Give this to my boy, man. You need to give it to Corvus. And I lost Corvus. Where did that man go? There he is. Okay, so that's what I was thinking. So kind of keep an eye on Corvus. If you guys are planning to use Corvus, I would. I mean, I would say he's in a better spot now. He'll be in a better spot. So if you plan to use him, make sure to, let me know in the comments down below. Tell me if you plan to use him. What are you gonna do with him? I would like to hear, because I'm very interested on Corvus. I'm also interested on Cartuja as well, but we'll get into him right now. But for now, I'm thinking if he's the only fire unit in your PvP team, he's going to not destroy, but be pretty annoying. Maybe with a healer, probably one of those stall teams. You probably want to win a stall. Yeah, you know what? That's what we're going with. Stall teams. Crow, Corvus, a healer, like Angelica. Oh, that's scary. But looking to be pretty good. Anyways, now we're gonna get to Cartuja, because Cartuja is the other one that I want to talk about. Cartuja, it's getting some pretty good buffs. I'm liking what I'm seeing with Cartuja. He's getting increased defense on his Predatory Roar for 2 turns. That's crazy. I think he's gonna be really good for Banshee with that, because he already lowers attack. He does require some heavy Mola investment. I think Corvus will too, but you do want to give him some Molos. But increased defense for 2 turns, that is great, because that makes him much tankier. Cooldown reduced by 1. He really needed that. 6 turns already, and then you needed to reduce it to just 5 turns. That's too long. So now it's going to be at 4 with Molagora cooldown reduction, and they increased the multiplier, which I'm not sure what they mean by that, because do they mean like overall, or did they just do damage? Like, did they only increase it for when he's below 50%? Because if I remember correctly, right? If we go to Cartuja here, I forgot to put the notes up again. Oops. Either way, if we look at Cartuja here, right? I'm working on it. Please don't hit my Cartuja. If we look at him here, damage dealt increases in proportion to the caster's max health, with additional damage increase when the caster has less than 50% health. So are they increasing, right? Are they going to be increasing the damage for when he's below, or just in general he just has a higher multiplier? So that's the only thing that I'm not sure of. Hopefully they explain this more on the 27th. I think the 27th is when we get the next update. So that's really it. But I could see him maybe being in PvP now. PvE, definitely he could be something useful. He's a defense breaker. It's a 50% chance at Molagora. That's why I said that he needs investment, because you need to give him the 50% chance. Give him some high effectiveness though, and he'll probably be able to, he'll be able to do his thing with defense breaking. He can lower defense too, which is great. Lower attack, and on top of that, he's someone that you can use Durandal with, since he heals himself when he uses Predatory Roar, and he gets combat readiness when he gets hit. With Durandal, when he's below 75%, he gets another combat readiness. So, see what I mean? He's going to be pushing himself. So look out for Cartuja as well. I would highly recommend looking at him. I'm not going to say build him. If you don't like him, then don't build him, obviously. But I'm looking into Cartuja just because he's looking promising. They did more than what I thought they were going to do for him. So I'm pretty happy with that. Like, I was expecting just cooldown reduced and the damage thing. That's all I was expecting. The defense is just a nice bonus. I love that. So now we go down to Purgus. Now Purgus, he counters attacks whenever he gets hit. I think it's an AoE if I remember correctly. I need to check again. I love how they're like right next to each other too. That's perfect for me. So yeah, he hits all enemies with when counterattacking with a 20 chance to counterattack when attacked. So yeah, he does an AoE thing. So that's what they were trying to do with him. So now he has a 50% chance to decrease speed and reduce combat rate by 20%, which is great. But I don't. To me, he still kind of seems eh. I don't see him being used yet, anyways. But you know, if you like Purgus and kind of, I mean, he pushes down people, so that's not bad. But overall, maybe he'll be good for Banshee as well. I'm not sure. I'm not really keen on Purgus, but the changes are welcome for him, and hopefully, maybe now he'll see some use. Let's go to lots. So now his I can't really talk about him either though. Like they increase his caster combat radius by 30%, recovers a set percentage of health of all allies. So I don't have lots. I got rid of him for my auxiliary lots, so I can't really talk about him too much. So let's go to the journal real quick, because I can't talk about him too much, and I have no idea what he does. I have no idea where he is either in this. So let's look for my bow lots here. There he is. Alright, we didn't have to look for him too hard. The surrender uses striking magic to increase the combat rate of all allies by 10% and grant continuous healing for 3 turns. So now he recovers a certain percentage of the health of all allies. So are they changing it to that? I kind of like the regen better for 3 turns, because that means he has heal up time for 3 turns. But we'll see. Recovers allies' health while healing magic, increases combat rate by 80%. Amount recovered is proportional to allies' max health. So he increases the combat readiness by 80% already, right? And then he increases his own combat caster. So I guess with Tome he gets like another 15% to him. I don't know. I can't talk to him about him. For you all lots players, let me know in the comments what you think about the lots changes. I have no idea. I don't use them, but I think his Serenity change might be I think his region was better, but the caster combat readiness is pretty good. But now we go back to Arbiter Bildred, right? Let's go to Arbiter Bildred. Something you guys have been wanting. Well, at least the people that have them. I don't have them. I don't have them, sadly. He got probably the biggest changes. His damage dealt will no longer be affected by health lost. Instead, the base value of the damage dealt will increase by 30%. That's pretty good. After this passive skill is activated, his combat readiness gauge will increase to 100%, and his attack will increase for 2 turns. So he comes back, gets full combat readiness, and hits harder. And they lowered the cooldown on it. Oh. Okay, he's looking scary. Damage dealt will no longer be affected by health loss. Instead, the best value. Oh yeah, they just did the same thing. And decrease will be increased to 100%. Wow, he got huge buffs. This man is huge. I am scared of him now. I'm avoiding him. Where's Lilibet at? Just give me Lilibet. I'm not dealing with this man anymore. He's looking good. He's looking good for you Arbiter Vildred's users. Pretty happy with that. Now let's go to Robbie. Robbie here is looking pretty good. Just the small changes. Making, amount of fighting obtained has been increased to 10 to 30, which is pretty nice. So now her bruiser build, her bruiser role is looking to be even better. So that's pretty good. There's not much to talk about her. So Robbie's just more bruiser now. Hooray. Sigrid though. Sigrid. I'm kind of disappointed with the changes, but any changes are welcome. I don't really care. The guillotine one is the only one that I'm kind of looking at, because it says penetrate defense by 30%. Are they making it fixed 30%? Because that would be not really a nerf, not really a buff. It's kind of in between. Because I was planning to use her with Dizzy anyways. Dizzy, applies 3. If I use Sarah Wren, that's 4. So I get 40% defense penetration if I use her with Dizzy when she attacks someone. And then if it's 30% per debuff, we're talking. That's what we're talking, right? If it's 30% per debuff with 3 debuffs from Dizzy, that's 90% defense penetration. She becomes huge. And then the bleeding thing, I don't really care about that. I'm not putting effectiveness on mine anyways. So if she bleeds, she bleeds. That's great for me. I'm focusing on her crit damage, her attack, and her speed. I do not care about the effectiveness. If I get effectiveness on my gear for her, perfect. I don't care, because what I'm planning to do with Sigrid is I'm going to put her on a rage set when I can, I plan to use her on a rage set with Dizzy on a team, and then what will I was think well for an artifact I was just gonna go with Uberius too. Sacred Sight probably works too, but I think Uberius too kind of works out better for me. And then or yeah, I don't really see anything better honestly. So I'll be doing some test runs with her later once I can. But my focus is on Guillotine being able to do that because if it's a 30% per debuff, she will be pretty strong. I mean, in like for me at least, whenever I had to face a secret in fights back then when she was used, she hit pretty hard. So and I have her on my ult. On my ult I had her before I got her on my main. I don't really use my ult anymore. I stopped using it. But my main one didn't have her, so on my ult I was using her. And she hits pretty hard, even without good gear. So I want to see how good she would be with actual good gear with a rage set, because since your whole focus is to attack people that have debuffs already on top of to get Guillotine's like maximum effect. Rage set is definitely probably the way to go with her. Obviously you want crit damage, obviously you want more high attack, high crit damage. You want her to be decently speedy so she doesn't get lapped. But you know, with Sever being able to literally, she hits someone then she hits them again if they get below 50%. I don't see how that's not gonna be making her stronger. So we'll see how her changes go on the 27th. I'll talk about it when they decide to give us the full details of all these changes. Hopefully there's more changes on top of that. But other than that, that's really all there was to talk about, right? There's really nothing else to talk about here on, you know, Epic 7. All I really want to see is I want to see Corvus, I want to see Carduja and Secret mainly. Purgus, I'll look into about. He's not really priority for me right now. Violet, I'm looking at as well, but Corvus and Carduja are really something I want to look into, especially Corvus. You know, like I said, if you guys decide to leave a comment, tell me if you guys decide to use them. If you have any success with him, that'd be great. And let me know what team comps you guys decide to think of, because this is gonna hopefully change the PvP a little bit. Hopefully, probably not, but we'll see. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys a little discussion. Like I said, please leave a like, subscribe if you guys want more videos, and leave a comment down below what you guys might like to see on my videos, what you would like to see on my channel. If there's other mobile games you would like me to cover, like talk about, look into. I love playing mobile games, so you know, just let me know in the comment section. But anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. It means a lot if you guys subscribe and like the video. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully next week, because next week has some pretty big updates. Bye bye.